Welcome back to Cord Cutting Today, where we break down some of the biggest stories happening in the world of cord cutting, including today, NPR and PBS being investigated for alleged bias. We'll tell you what's happening there and why that could have a big impact on the future of PBS and NPR. Sony and CVS are fighting over Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy. Sony is trying to terminate a deal for distribution rights with CVS, and CVS is saying, not so fast. This is a bigger trend in the world of cord cutting and how it's impacting local television stations and content owners. And the WWE coming to Tubi? These stories and a whole lot more coming up in a quick second. First, though, if you want to find a link to every story we're about to talk about, and there's a lot, check out the show notes and in the first pinned comment. I'll put a link to each story there. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up. Doing one or both lets YouTube know you enjoy what we do here, so YouTube recommends our videos to more people, helping us grow and hopefully helping you break free from the high cost of TV and still watch the shows you enjoy. I'm still fighting a bad cold. I don't know if you can hear it, but we're going to power through this and see what happens here. Hang in here with me. All right, let's dive into it. PBS and NPR are being summoned to a congressional hearing over alleged bias in their reporting. There's been a big push recently to cut back on how much money they receive from the federal government with that. And now they are being called into a government efficiency subcommittee to deliver remarks about their bias. This comes as a bigger push here for some time to cut back on the amount of money we spend on NPR and PBS. While it's not their only source of income, it's still millions of dollars every year. It'll be very interesting to see how this plays out. For now, it seems to be a lot of political grandstanding. You know me, I'm going to call it as I see it. But I do see a real push that NPR and PBS's time is kind of in the past, and that the need for it like it once was, even 10 or 20 years ago, isn't what it used to be. Fewer people are watching it. I think one of the biggest failures, especially on PBS's, NPR's been better. PBS was very, very late to the cord cutting trend. For a long time, you could not watch it with cord cutting. And today that may seem weird because they've become a lot more friendly to streaming recently. But they were very much behind the times with this and made it very hard to watch them if you didn't have a traditional cable package. That's because they get a lot of money from traditional cable TV deals. But now there's an increased push from our federal government to cut back on the money for a variety of reasons, including alleged bias by them. We'll keep a close eye on this and have full coverage over at Cord Cutters News as we hear more. The hearing is scheduled for either March 3rd or March 24th, depending on when they can arrange to have representatives from the two organizations appear to answer questions in front of Congress. And when that happens, we'll have full coverage over at cordcuttersnews.com. All right, Sony and CBS are fighting over Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune. This is when you know things are getting kind of tight, when money's becoming a problem and companies are trying to get out there. For many, many years, Sony, who makes Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy, has had a distribution deal with CVS to have them aired and sell the distribution rights to local TV stations to air the Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy. In my local market, it's on a CBS. It varies depending on where you live. Well, CBS was shocked when Sony announced to a report to Deadline that they were taking back rights for distribution and would no longer be offering them through CBS. They'll be doing it themselves. CBS quickly came out and said, hey, Deadline, not so fast. Our contract with Sony does not give them the right to terminate the contract. With these contracts, usually there's some type of clause in there for termination, but there's certain things that you have to do with it. And CBS is saying that Sony has not properly followed the termination clause for their contract and that they have the right to distribute exclusive rights to the Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy in the United States. This is, I believe, about money. Sony wants to do it themselves because they want to cut out the middleman, in this case CBS, to get more money themselves as they are struggling with the growth of cord cutting impacting the bottom line. CBS sees two of their most profitable shows slipping away from them, so they're fighting. Look for this to get nasty and potentially end up in court. But for now, nothing should be changing. But in the future, you may find Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune on a different channel where you live if Sony is successful in clawing back rights to distribute it here in the United States. All right, next story up. Sonos, known for their high-end speakers, is releasing a streaming player to compete with Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, and others. Now, this comes from a report over at The Verge who says they've seen photos of what they call a high-end device codenamed Pinewood that's projected to cost between $200 and $400. That will not only be a streaming player, but an HDMI hub to be an all-in-one center for all of your content out there, and you'll be able to connect your DVD players and other things that have it act as a pass-through HDMI hub with it. Now, this is supposed to have a, quote, beautiful user interface for software and a high-end experience. Okay, Sonos, I'm going to say pump the brakes here, because we see this with Apple, right? Apple really pushed hard to become that high-end streaming player, and they've had to backtrack on that a lot. And I think a big part of it is the fact that people actually spend very little time in the user interface, right? In the device's interface. You're going to Hulu, you're going to YouTube TV, Netflix, wherever it may be, and that's where you're spending most of your time, inside the apps on the device, not the device itself. I would almost argue if you're spending too much time in the menus, it probably means they're too complicated and hard to use. Now, there is, I think, room for improvement and development within the streaming players. Roku has found dominance by offering super simple to use, easy to understand, cheap streaming players that do a good job. Fire TV has found their niche with with side loading, customization, the Amazon ecosystem, powerful streaming players. Apple has the whole Apple ecosystem built into it. Google TV has really come on strong recently. Is there enough room for another player in the market, especially at the $200 to $400 price point? Cord cutters are often price-conscious people, and I often find people are creatures of habit, right? If I own a bunch of Rokus, why am I going to replace it with this? The other thing that they need to think about is the fact that, most people have 2, 3, 4 TVs. If I'm buying 4 $30, $40 streaming players from Roku, Amazon, Google, etc., it's one thing. If I'm buying 3 or 4 $400 streaming players, I just think that's a huge mistake on someone's part. Could be successful, but they really need to bring something groundbreaking to justify that price. Even at $200, I think they're going to struggle. We'll keep a close eye on it. Let me know, what's the max you'll pay for a streaming player? I know pretty much all these players have $100 or more version of their high end. But for like Roku, that's only $100. For Amazon, theirs is typically around $100, and Google TV, same, about $100. Apple TVs come down a long way, so not even that much more anymore. We'll keep a close eye on it. All right, WWE is coming to Tubi. Tubi will now stream a weekly WWE Evolve event on Wednesday nights, starting March 5th at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. They will have feature upcoming wrestlers as they try to develop and grow the brand of WWE. This comes as the WWE also recently moved over to Netflix for a lot of their content, and they're trying to become more widely available. And now this WWE Evolve option on Tubi also brings more live sports to Tubi. I apologize, I'm still fighting that cold, hanging in there. So we'll keep a close eye on this, but free ad sports streaming is growing, and I'm sure WWE sees this as a way to attract a new generation, maybe, of followers for new upcoming stars, give them some time to develop in their developmental league before they hit the big time over on Netflix with this. But look for that in March out there. Now, if you haven't seen it, I did a breaking news video on this in our next story. Fox is launching a new streaming service with a ton of live content from Fox News and Fox Sports. And I received a lot of questions, so I want to quickly go over a couple. What about Fox Business? We don't know. They didn't say. I would assume it would include some Fox Business content. Will it be a live feed of FS1 was another question I got. We don't know. It kind of sounds like they'll have live sporting events. Will it be a 24/7 feed of the channels? Or will it be more like what they do over on Max, where you get the events from TNT and TBS, but you don't get a 24/7 feed of TNT, TBS? We don't know yet, but we're going to learn as much as we can and break news over there as as soon as we get it. For now, though, all we know is this year, Fox is launching a live TV service with live sports, including Sunday afternoon NFL games and programming from Fox News. Beyond that, we'll have to wait and find out. Pricing, all that, they just didn't announce. If you want to learn more about this, check out the video. I'll put a link to it in one of these corners here. You can find it there. And let me know what you think. Would you subscribe to a Fox One? The walls are cracking around cable TV. Eventually that dam's going to break through and they're just going to get run away. We'll see what happens. All right. Next up, today in TV history, 73 years ago, the first African-American TV executive, Jackie Robinson, became a reality in the TV industry after being successful in the baseball world. Moved over to TV. We call it the glass ceiling a lot with women, but a glass ceiling in television broke 73 years ago this week. And 55 years ago this week in our next TV, check out the story if you want to learn more about that. In our next, in the today in TV history, the movie Patton came out 55 years ago. I remember growing up watching that movie, loving it. It's hard to believe Patton is 55 years old this week. All right. Amazon and Walmart have been in a deadly battle to dominate the world of packages. I honestly believe with the way everything is going, probably the vast majority of everything bought in the United States at some point in the next 10 years will be from Amazon or Walmart as they move to dominate. Amazon announced, though, that last year in 2024, they shipped 9 billion items same day or next day as they increasingly try to speed up delivery of popular items, now bringing 9 billion ones out. I know when I got here, I had forgotten the microphone and went on Amazon and got same day delivery. In the past, I would have gone to Radio Shack. Well, Radio Shack's not around anymore. Now getting same day delivery from Amazon is really nice. I did notice the local Walmart, which used to do drone delivery here, no longer does it. They got out of the drone delivery one, at least in this market. Be interesting to see if that comes back or why Walmart got out of drone. But Amazon's leaning heavily into drones to try to speed up delivery too. We'll keep a close eye on it there. But streaming, package delivery, and more is part of a bigger trend to try to get people locked into your device or your service like Amazon. And Peacock's getting another exclusive. Married at First Sight will now be moving from Lifetime after a very long, successful run to Peacock, as Peacock tries to find more and more shows to help it stand out. Well, that's it for today. My voice is failing, so don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. I'll be back again tomorrow with another video. Until then, take care, be safe. I'll talk to you all again real soon.